Ladies and gentlemen, welcome back to the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz Chess Tournament. This is a wild event. There are 10 players seated in a chess club in St. Louis. They play 9 rounds of Rapid against each other over 3 days. That's 3 games of Rapid every day. Then they do a round robin of Blitz every single day. So you have to play 9 games of Blitz and then come back and play 9 more games of Blitz. Now, in the first part of the event, the Rapid, Alireza Firouzja was dominant. We saw Maxime Vachier-Lagrave up there in the standings. We saw Levon Aronian up there in the standings. A lot of people had good events, but it was close. But Hikaru Nakamura, shockingly, despite being ranked the #1 Rapid player in the world by rating, was in last. He finished the first 3 days of Rapid in last place. And I made my recap video yesterday, and I titled it, "Come on, Hikaru, let's go, let's do this, let's make the comeback," He was obviously very frustrated and a bit dejected with his play. Folks, dear Lord, prepare yourselves for some Blitz. We kick things off with the matchup that ended yesterday. Literally the same matchup. Hikaru versus Fabiano. And a lot of the guys in the event have been playing this, or they've been playing the English. Hikaru's been playing A3 on move 2. And Fabiano just goes F5. He plays a reverse Grand Prix. So Fabiano is playing the Grand Prix into Hikaru's Sicilian. It's kind of really funny. Now it's totally reverse colors, right? So we have G3, Bishop G2, and remember, it's a Blitz game, right? So we're going to be seeing all sorts of stuff today. A5 prevents B4. Hikaru takes the center and develops his knight, and begins doing typical English things like playing B4, like Rook B1, B4. Fabiano shuts down the center. Hikaru's like, no, let's not do that. Let's keep going along B5. Very typical style of play here in the English opening, where white uses the bishop, the rook, and this is really just nothing special over here. So we have knight e6. Hikaru trades and continues to just butcher the position. Why? Because he has way more active pieces. These bishops are pretty blocked. This bishop is very strong. This knight is strong. This knight is strong. White has a lot of space here if you count the spatial control, right? So next we have rook e1. We have queen f7. Very passive position from Fabiano. How is Hikaru going to poke and prod, right? He jumps in with the knight. Fabi also jumps in with the knight, sacrificing a pawn, but with the idea to just create this defense that white can't break through. And look at the eval. The eval is 0. Fabi, genius defense here. And even though he's down a pawn, he's not even losing. Amazing stuff here, activating his pieces. How on earth is Hikaru going to have those problems? I mean, this endgame is just a draw. It doesn't matter that black is... right? I mean, it's, man, wow, you gotta just give credit here. I mean, the bishop pair doing a really nice job. Hikaru's just not gonna win this one. He's trying to get revenge, but it's just not happening, all right? But wait, one final trap. Fabiano has to play one of these 3 king moves, and he draws the game. He plays king e5. He loses on the spot. Insane. Just completely, I mean, low time, right? We're going to see blunders. Levy, I don't understand. What you don't understand is that this is losing. If here, f6, if here, h3, I take your pawn. Fabiano must have just forgotten that, if the king takes this, there's this. Because if the king had gone backwards to, f7 and knight g4 would have happened, bishop f1 wins. Draws, not wins. Draws. And what happens in the game is that this is check, so you don't have bishop f1. Hikaru wins, clutches it out. Revenge, but a little shaky, but still a good start to the day. Now, Alireza Firouzja was in first. Nepo was right there with him. We also see in English. This one is also an early A3, reverse Sicilian. I don't know what these guys are doing playing Sicilian with white now, but, it is what it is. Look at this. Look at Jan Nepomniachtchi throwing the haymakers. All right, a couple of moves later, Jan goes totally nuts. G5, look at this. This is incredible. Alireza's like, what are you going to do? Bishop e6, what are you going to do? Huh? All right, see? Now I'm attacking on the queen side. What, you're going to play h5, g4? So do it then. Let's go, h5. You can't, because white is breaking through on the queen side. Typical English stuff. Bishop back to c8. And Nepo starts playing on that side. Alireza's like, brother, you couldn't have just possibly put all these pawns on these squares, and now you're not going to attack me. Because you know what's going to happen when you get off the center? I'm gonna go straight up the middle. All right? You have your hands too wide, front kick, to the face, knockout. Anderson Silva, Vitor Belfort, all right? Knight c6, there we go, we're bulldozing. Knight d3, who's guarding this? You gotta play knight g6, but then I'm gonna take on c7, too many weaknesses. Jan played a little bit too aggressively in this game, and Ali Reza just takes one pawn, takes two pawns. He's about to take a third one quite soon, all right? There it is. And Jan is just running out of pawns, and you know what's crazy? None of these pawns moved again. Ali Reza was so surgical in this game in picking up material and dealing with Jan's threats. Jan resigns after 33 moves of action, and just a brilliant game from Firouzja. I mean, honestly, awesome stuff. Yeah, it's crazy that Jan, like, played f4, and the game was still equal, but then Jan was like, you know what, g5. Firouzja was like, and what if I stop you? And black couldn't just keep going because white would have just moved the knight. And, I mean, this is awful. That's not an attack. The knight just blocks everything, right? So, beautiful game from Ali Reza. Nice control of Jan's aggression. Jan just a little bit too confident, a little bit too eager. Great job from Firouzja. Now, Hikaru's epic first round game, which basically came down to an incorrect king move. In the second game, he and Levon just got into a fight, all right? Levon played a very imbalanced approach with f6, looking for e5 against the Nimso Larsen. C4 prevents that. Look at this. b4 tries to kick out the defense of this. Black plays e5. Pawns are flying. Takes. Folks, call me crazy. That's a free rook. The craziest part is, it is, but the queen is trapped. Apparently, this is some sort of trap. The queen just gets lost. This is insane. The rook's just hanging. Rook's just hanging. It's just, Hikaru's like, yeah, go take it. Levon's like, well, I can't, because you're gonna trap me, so no. No. Hikaru takes. No, now it's check. Now black goes here, he loses this. What is black gonna do? He moves it. Oh my god, the queen's trapped. Levon gets two rooks, though. It's not game over, but how is Levon gonna consolidate? All right, he's trying. All right, he's got all his pieces nice and solid, but look at Hikaru. I mean, if you give black like two moves, rooks are gonna get into the game. So what does Hikaru do? Start shredding it open. You can't get your king to safety because I'm gonna take a couple of things here. All right, you attack my queen, that's great. I'm not gonna hang it. All right, I'm not a Gotham subscriber. By the way, Hikaru, you gotta subscribe. Seriously, what are you doing? Takes. Check. King is running. Queen's right there. Queen's like, ha! Rook plus rook is 10 points. Queen is 9. How about two rooks that have literally never moved? Are they also worth 10 points? Oh, congrats. Give me this pawn. You finally made a move. Good job. I'm still here. Yeah, I'm still here. And the queen has help. All right? Queen's not putting up 50 points tonight with a team of bench warmers. Now, we're not going to blunder anything on the back rank, and we're going to remove the knight from its position. Check. Force the king back. Here we go. And Hikaru, smooth sailing to victory. 2 out of his first 2. Is it going to be a good day for him? Is he going to make a comeback? Did I predict it yesterday by saying that he's the best blitz player in the world? He's ranked number 1. He's almost 2,900. Are we going to see is that what we're going to see today? Fourth game I have for you. Cracking game between Jeffrey Zhang and Shahryar Mamedyarov. Another English, by the way. Seems like they really like what they're doing. Bishop b4 is an interesting and very provocative line. You let the knight jump here. And now white has a couple of approaches, like d4, for instance, is one of the approaches. Very concrete way of playing, if you will. Now black can play d6. And here I've never seen this move, but e4. So just pushing all his pawns. Mamedyarov gets a trade, and Jeffrey plays f3. f3 is an interesting idea. The point is that you want to get this structure with just a lot more space. Then you want to get your bishop, your queen, right? You're going to get all your pieces out. Okay, so very logical. Mamedyarov castles. Okay, knight e2. The reason you go knight e2 is because you want to move your bishop to d3, but you don't really want to allow one of the enemy knights to get to it. So you don't want to go like here. So you're like, I don't know if I'm going to put my bishop out. Just knight e2, knight e2, knight e2. Everybody chill, knight e2. Okay, c6. Bishop g5. Uh-huh. d5. Oh, Mamedyarov getting spicy. Why is it +5? Shah? What? Shock, why is it +5? What did you do? What? Shock just hung a piece? Wait, I don't... But he's pinned, I don't... What? Okay. Queen moves. But what about... But what about the... What? Wait, I don't... Huh? What? White wins in 17 moves. Oh. What? Huh? Come again? Wait. Okay, so I guess Mamidyarov wanted queen b4 check? And then wanted something like this? I don't know, but white goes back and then that doesn't... You know what they say? They say, blank happens. Alright? You guys know the show Schitt's Creek on Netflix? Is that what the show is? Yeah. Shits happens. You know, Schitt's Creek happens. Parents, it's a real show. I'm not lying. Parents were like, oh my god, he said a bad word. No, that's actually their name. SchItt. Don't make fun of their name. That's so rude. Yeah, Zhang beats Mamidyarov in 17 moves. Welcome to Blitz, okay? Now, go Jeffrey. Next game I have for you is an epic one, okay? Lenier Dominguez Perez had a little bit of a rough day at the office, but he brought the fight to this game, and Jan is looking to bounce back after that last one. We have a Taimanov Sicilian, one of the most imbalanced openings. Bishop e3 open Sicilian. Queen f3, okay. This is a line, and it's very trendy nowadays. Generally what happens here is we get something like knight f6, some crazy castles line. Black will play like knight e5, sometimes like h5, h4. It's like one of the sharpest lines in all of chess. It's something like this. Something completely insane. Like h5, h3, then h4, and then queen e1, something totally nuts. There's some pawn sack line here, queen f4. So, yeah, rather than getting involved in any of that, Jan plays b5, which is not the move order of knight f6. We have captures, and long castles, okay? And basically here, Lenier is like, all right, boss man, so you can't move your bishop now, okay? Because I'm going to take. I have an active rook, and I'm going to go knight d5 next move. For instance, knight d5 could be very interesting. Sacrificing, like, the engine right now is not giving it the blessing because of queen is going to g6, but I'm not 100% convinced. There's all sorts of crazy lines where, like, if black plays one inaccurate move, like, let's say instead of there, black goes here, which it's very tough to even understand the difference. Queen c7. I guess the queen has to see this pawn, and now white is just winning. It's like sacrificing when all the pieces are on the back rank is very, very dangerous stuff. There's a sacrifice on the Sicilian on the d5 square, and it happens all the time. All right, so we have rook c8, bishop d3, preventing checkmate. Jan still kicks out the knight, and now, here we go, h5. Why h5? What? Well, white wants to move and play g4, so Jan's like, nope, you can't do that. All right, h5, h4, g6, typical. Hit the knight, defend the knight, knight f4, and at some point in this game, a blunder occurs, right here. I mean, king b1 was a logical move. Like, sometimes you want to play moves like this. But Lenier had to go here. He had to get the queens off. Because now Jan is like, yeah, boom. So the bishops see each other. But it's worse than that. The knight hits the queen. Okay? So if white chase like this, just bishop takes d4, right? Crushing for black. If you take, then take. But what about this? I don't understand. Jan saw that he could take and then take, and it's real bad. Because if you take, not only is it check, it's mate. It's one of the most legendary sequences in chess. Queen c1, and then checkmate on the back rank. Crazy. So, that can't happen. So what does Lenier do? Oh, he going crazy. Bishop takes g6, sacrificing a piece. If you take, white plays queen g6, and white is winning because the pawn on c2 is protected. We take a lot of things for granted when we analyze GM games. All right, the engine doesn't tell us a lot of stuff. So bishop takes g6, and Jan is like, nah, no attack. Yeah, I'm not scared. Mike, no more checks. And this is hanging. And the second white takes a step backwards, black is going to play queen c2. So good luck. Rook g8. Rook g7. He gets this in. Jan's like, bring it, boss. Let's go. I'm safe. You could bring all these pieces. Where are they going? King g8. Yeah, I'm just going to take a pawn. And then I'm going to consolidate with queen to e4, disconnecting your pieces. Queen g5, bishop e2. No more protection on the c2 pawn. Rook c1, and a final move. Mwah! Chef's kiss. Queen d4. Good night. You go full Salt Bay. Pour some salt on it. Boom, boom. Lenier Dominguez resigns. Just awesome game from Nepo. Awesome Sicilian game. Now, next game that I have for you. MVL versus Levon Ranyan. Levon has had some interesting games. He definitely comes to battle like all the time. And this one, though, he didn't really come to battle. He was like, I'm going to get a Berlin on the board. Berlin, easy draws, you know. Bishop f6, kick this out. Knight d5. Let's trade some pieces. And yeah, so the position that MVL went for is a knight for a bishop, but completely symmetrical pawn structure, and black has a ton of activity, so what on earth could we even be doing here, right? Just totally equal. MVL is not so convinced. MVL loves to play boring endgames in the Berlin variation. He likes to play things like a4 and just ask questions. He doesn't mean any harm, but he's asking questions. a4. What is black gonna do? d5. Queen d8 is coming, right, to defend the position at some moment. But a5 just... And the question is, like, why didn't black play a5? He thought he was going to have some weaknesses. He didn't want to overcommit his pawns. But all of a sudden, white is creating some targets here. Here, both players missed knight e3, which would have been an amazing move. Take, queen f2, e2, and queen b2 would have all been problems for white to deal with. Instead of that, Levon plays g6, and he's just defending. I mean, he's not in the business of, you know, trying to win a game where he's... But here's the thing. Now queen f4. And remember, I told you about fixing those pawns, getting an endgame, just asking questions. Yeah, you're gonna lose. Because once the bishop gets in, it's like Pac-Man over there. So Levon has to be passive. g3, and then suddenly, Levon gives it all away. White's last move was very natural. Bishop h3 taking the entire diagonal. However, here, black plays the move f5 to block the bishop. But you see the eval go from about plus 0.2 to plus 3. That's because white now completely takes over the dark squares. And not only is it the dark squares, the problem right now is black's king is extremely weak. And when that knight moves, the checks around the king are going to be fatal. MVL just gets the bishops off, and that's it. It's now a free-for-all. He's just going to go. Not only is he going to go, Levon offers a rook trade and resigns. He plays rook e8, hits the clock, and is like, God damn it. You know what happened? Rook e8, knight e8, queen f8 mate. But the truth is, it was already very difficult because white was about to go here. So there was rook f7 here, but then I would have gone, I don't know, queen d8 check. All right, maybe I would have gone queen e5. I would have just slowly but surely made you run out of moves. I would have taken, I would have gone check, I would have won this, I would have won this, I would have won this, I would have promoted, right? Instead of that, Levon goes out with a bang, and before his opponent can even make a move, Alpha Chad Boss Man resigns the game. MVL gets a nice win, loves beating people in these Berlins. Now, I saved the best for last, okay? This was the game of the day, and it was not even close. All right, we've had a lot of interesting games. This one took the cake. Are you ready? Buckle up. Guess the ELO Super GM edition. We begin for another game with an English. It's crazy. D3. All right, Ali Reza kind of doing the Hikaru, but not really doing the Hikaru. All right, we have a reverse Najdorf. Bishop e2, bishop e3. Very similar way that Nepo played with f4. No, a6. Oh, but now bishop c5. Okay, bishop e6. And really, it seems like Firouzja has a massive understanding of these positions because for the second time in a row that we saw him play the structure, he's just much better in the opening. Fabiano takes on b3. We have this, we have this, we have this, we have this, and you don't take back on d4 just yet. You shove the bishop backwards, and then you win the pawn like this. Queen d5, no queen trade. I'm going to take like this and kick you out. Now, white is much better. How is white much better? Well, past e-pawn, potential black weaknesses, much better coordination, and better future prospects. Ali Reza, take it away. Oh, yes. H5, here we go. You can trade the rooks, but I'm building behind my pawn. Fabiano's like, bro, I played for the World Championship, all right, while you were doing PP and Pampers. Knight to A4. I'm going to create some counterplay on that side. I'm going to lock in my pieces. Alireza's like, PP and what, Pampers? I'm going to take the pawn on F4. Let's go. C4? So what? I'm going to take that. What are you, nuts? You can't even... what? Fabi, I'm just up 2 pawns. I got 6, you got 4. That's 2 more, man. I'm winning. Fabi's like, so what? C3. Alireza stops the pawn and attacks it. And now this. Now, white has a couple of ways to win. White can play H5. White can play G3. White can play Rook E4 and try to come back and win this pawn. Now, this looks a bit scary, but you have Knight D4 kicking out the queen. Alireza chooses this. The reason why that move is not great is because black has Queen F5. And in some shocking fashion, this pawn's just making it through, okay? So, Firouzja is like, don't like that very much. Fabiano's like, I like that very much. Firouzja's like, I don't like that very much. Fabiano's like, I love that very much. And now white can't move at all. Despite being 2 pawns up, genius Fabiano sacrifices a pawn and gets irresistible counterplay and is completely winning. It is now -3, but he doesn't have to rush, but it's blitz. In blitz as a human, you're like, I must win the game right now or else I'm going to lose on time. You know what the engine wants black to do? Play King G8. If you play King G8 here, you should be checked for metal, well, with a metal detector. All right, for being for carrying pocket stockfish. Instead of that, Fabi plays A5. All right, gives a check. Rook D3. How is white not completely lost now? Oh, that's because he is. AB. Rook D8, best move by Fabiano. You don't have to do that. You could just keep it simple and go here. But I think Rook D8 is a very accurate move. Now, white is defending, but black can now go this way. All right, because if you take here, there's this. And if you take here, I think you lose the same way. Rook A2 and so on. Instead of that, Fabi takes and hangs the... That was his prized possession, but, check. So he messes everything up, but he's still going to win a piece. But this is a draw. Why is this a draw? Because here, 4-on-2 trade into each other, and at the end of the day, rook and bishop versus rook is a draw. Now, white has to do a couple of things here. White should play H5. Why? Doubled isolated H-pawns, easy draw. I mean, not easy, but you can even do this. You can try to get a rook trade, because this is unwinnable with black. Wrong color corner. Theoretical endgame knowledge. But both guys have 5 seconds on the clock, so that's never going to happen. Now, what does white not want to do? White wants to keep all the pawns together and not move them. Dance in between them. You're not going to make a queen, so don't push. Firouzja pushes and now gets blockaded. Rook B3. King G7. Here comes... Wait, that's just a free pawn. Wait, what? That's just a free pawn. Why didn't he take it? What? Nobody was making a queen here. Rook F2 is check. And then Rook E2 wins this. And you can even do this. So, what? That's just a free pawn. Bishop takes H4. No, Fabi plays King F6. Rook B6. King E5. Okay, that's not free anymore. Rook C3, F3. All right. Now black can play Rook C6 at some point and get a winning bishop endgame. You got to be real careful. Firouzja really needed to not play this move because this allows black to blockade on the dark squares, and now you don't get that endgame. You don't get the wrong color pawn. You absolutely have a right color pawn. All right? King G2, Rook C2. That's it. That's it. It's over. King E5, Fabi's got about 5 seconds, so he's trying to get this. That's, yeah, I mean, 3-on-2. This is, this is game over. King F6. Oh! What is that? Oh, if you take that. Oh, there's one pawn. Oh, but, okay, one pawn left, but, you're never going to win this pawn, and black will slowly encroach and win the game. But this can't make a queen now. I mean, king, bishop, pawn is a draw now. Wrong color corner. Okay. All right, pretty clever stuff here from Firouzja, Very nice. Okay. Is this a draw? Wait. Could it be? Wait. Oh, but he can't take because that's a 4. Oh. King E2. He saved it. Alireza saved the game. Alireza went from completely winning to completely losing. Like, it wasn't even close to saving the game. Guess the ELO 2700 GM edition. King versus king. What a game. This game propelled Alireza to win his last 4 games of Rapid. Blitz. Wrong format. 4 games of Blitz. Folks, the standings after the Blitz is over. Would you like to see this? Of course you would. That's why you're here. These are your standings. Ali Reza Firouzja has 18 points. Hikaru Nakamura went from last to third by half a point. He won 6 out of 9 games today. That is really nice. 6 wins, 3 draws. My man was like, y'all must have forgot. All right, I'm 2890 Blitz. Highest ranked in the world by 50 rating points. But nobody's stopping Firouzja. Firouzja has a 3-point lead on MVL and a 3.5-point lead on Hikaru. And he has to play 9 games. That is almost an insurmountable lead. Hikaru must beat Firouzja tomorrow. Or somebody's got to beat Firouzja tomorrow. What a comeback from Hikaru. Sam Shankland and Linier Dominguez-Perez today had rough days. I think Linier went half out of 9. And his only draw was against Sam, which is crazy. Hopefully, Ledope can come back tomorrow. That's actually his nickname. Ledope. Linier Dominguez-Perez. Pretty cool nickname. Sam Shankland had a rough day at the office, also winless. Mamidyarov was on a losing streak. In Blitz, these swings can happen like... But tomorrow is going to be an epic final day. Firouzja, oh my goodness, just demolishing these dudes. What? Candidates who? You must have forgot. 2 Frenchmen up top, followed very closely by the best Blitz player in the world, Jan Nepomniachtchi, not a slacker whatsoever. We got Jeffrey Zhang? Hell yeah. I'm excited. See you all tomorrow for the last day of the St. Louis Rapid and Blitz.